At this time, will everyone please rise and welcome West Chester University's 2013 graduates.
Please be seated. Good evening, members of the graduate class of 2013, family, friends, other honored guests. I'm pleased to welcome you to West Chester University's graduate commencement ceremony. This event pays tribute to the great achievement that a graduate degree represents. I'm now pleased to introduce Ethan Stauford, class of 2013, who graduated on Saturday from the College of Visual and Performing Arts, who will lead us in singing the Star-Spangled Banner. Please be seated. Graduates, I'm impressed by your success and pleased to have this opportunity to honor you. A graduate degree reflects your commitment to excellence, to developing your mind, advancing your career, and contributing fully to your field. As psychologist Carl Rogers said, the only person who is educated is the one who has learned to learn and change. With your WCU graduate degree, you are truly educated not only in your subject matter, but also in knowing how to continue learning. You understand how to tap your creativity, implement ideas, change as conditions demand, and see your vision through to fruition. In short, you've multiplied your ability to be a leader and serve others near and far. We at West Chester University are grateful that you chose to pursue your graduate study with us. Thank you for all you have contributed. And I'd also like to give a special thanks to the family and friends, faculty and staff who have assisted you along this way. Tonight, we honor their commitment to your success as well as those of the graduate class of 2013. To each of you, I wish you my very, very best for the future. And now, it is great pleasure I call on the President of West Chester University, Dr. Greg Weisenstein.
Thank you, Provost Lamworth. Good evening, everyone, and congratulations to the West Chester University graduate class of 2013. This event is now an important WCU tradition, recognizing our graduate students and their exceptional scholarly achievements. Graduates, 175 years ago, in his lecture on the American Scholar, Ralph Waldo Emerson gave his opinion of what it means to be a scholar. His definition, still a good one. The office of scholars, he says, is to cheer, to raise, and to guide others by showing them facts amongst appearances. Scholars are the world's eye, and they are the world's heart. According to Emerson, your academic success brings a weighty assignment. But here at West Chester University, you have developed knowledge and skills for your career and personal life, and for a lifetime of benefit to others. And so, this evening's ceremony reflects an important truth. Commencement is not so much an end as it is a beginning. Tonight does mark an end to the routines that have defined your life over the recent past. It concludes a time that can never be repeated and is the culmination of a pivotal stage in your education. But this occasion, whose very name means beginning, is also an opening of a broad path to your future, full of infinite possibilities. With confidence, I assure you, you have earned an outstanding degree whose excellence will be a source of pride, knowledge, ability, and inspiration for a satisfying and meaningful life. I congratulate you on your success here at West Chester University, which will continue to be your university throughout the years. Please stay involved and take advantage of WCU's extensive lifelong learning opportunities. Among these are professional development training and certificates, courses for personal enrichment, cultural and athletic events, as well as other special events and services. And very soon, West Chester University will be offering doctoral programs. Before closing, I'd like to add my appreciation to all those who have assisted you along the way. This evening celebrates their support, their sacrifices, and their understanding, which has been so essential to your success. And now, everyone, my warmest wishes for all of the years ahead. I would like to recognize Marian Moskowitz, Council of Trustees member, who is with us this evening to help us celebrate on this occasion. Marian, would you please stand and allow us to recognize your great work on the Council of Trustees. Now I would ask the rest of the platform party and all staff and administrators of the university who are present tonight, please stand and be recognized for the significant contributions that you make to the university and to those we serve. Now I would like to recognize a group that has had a great deal to do with you being here this evening, and that's the faculty of West Chester University. The faculty constitutes a diverse group united in their love of teaching and their dedication to the students of West Chester University. Without them, the milestones that we mark today could not have been reached. Will the faculty of the university present tonight please stand and be recognized? It is now my distinct pleasure to invite Mayor of the Borough of West Chester, the Honorable Carolyn Comita, to develop the commencement address. Elected mayor in 2010 Carolyn Comita was the first woman and the first bipartisan mayor elected in the Westchester Borough. She began her political service as a Westchester Borough Council member, serving between 2006 and 2009, where she chaired and served on several key committees. Appointed to the National League of Cities Leadership Training Council in 2006, she served as vice chair from 2011 to 2012. Mayor Comita is an appointed member of the National League of Cities Energy, Environment, and Natural Resources Steering Committee, serving between 2010 to the present. She has chaired the Pennsylvania Municipal League's University Community Network from 2011 to the present, and continues to serve the steering committee for the National League of Cities University Community Council. Mayor Comita is Vice President and CFO of Thomas Comita Associates Incorporated, town planners and landscape architects, with offices in downtown Westchester. Since 1988, the mayor has served as member of the board of directors of World Information Transfer Incorporated, WIT, a nonprofit, non-governmental educational organization in general consultative status at the United Nations, focusing on health and the environment. WIT is committed to raising awareness of the effects of environmental degradation on human health through the dissemination of scientific and actionable information. Mayor Comita is an alumna of Westchester University, earning her BS in Education in 1974. She earned her Master's of Education from Widener University in 1989, and Carolyn worked as a special and gifted education curriculum specialist and teacher from 1974 to 1985. She received the WCU Distinguished Alumni Award in 2011 and the WCU LGBTQU Baynard Rustin Award for Social Justice in 2012. She serves on the Dean's Advisory Committee of the WCU Council of Visual and Performing Arts and is a member of the WCU Honors College Aid to South Africa Community Board. The mayor was selected for Mainline Today magazine's Top 20 Women on the Move in 2011 and is a periodic featured writer for Westchester Women's Journal. I don't know when she sleeps. Westchester University is very, very proud to call Mayor Carolyn Comita our own. Carolyn, please.
Thank you very, very much, President Weisenstein. I am deeply honored and delighted to be part of the graduate commencement exercises for Westchester University 2013. I am blessed to have my family and friends here with me tonight, and I'd like to introduce and recognize my husband, Tom, my sweet mother-in-law, Rose, my best friend, Dr. Claudia Strauss, my intern, Westchester University Rising Senior Alyssa Strasser, and our nephew, Greg Nuschke, who is a rising sophomore at Penn State. It is an honor and a joy to be the mayor of the great borough of Westchester, the host community for nationally, indeed internationally acclaimed Westchester University. WCU has been ranked among the nation's top public universities for quality, affordability, and exemplary community service, among many other accolades. Each year, I am even more proud to say that I am an alumna of West Chester University. I thank President Weisenstein, his cabinet, the Council of Trustees, our professors, and each of you, the graduates, and your families. Thank you for all you do to make West Chester University and our community better and better every year. Did you know that our students, undergrad and graduate, contribute over 350,000 hours of community service to the West Chester area every year? In addition, our professors donate their time and expertise to lead numerous community partnerships. Many of you are here tonight. Many community partnerships have been formed, such as our new Public Education and Government TV, our community environmental sustainability efforts, mindfulness-based stress reduction for community leaders. One of our professors conducted a parking perception and satisfaction survey for the borough. We're being assisted by the university's IT department to modernize our borough website, and a wellness program is being developed with the College of Allied Health Sciences for our police department. And there are many other very important initiatives as well. Many of you here tonight have been part of these and other town gown partnerships. We could have moved forward with none of these important projects without the generosity and leadership of our university. On behalf of the citizens of West Chester, I would like to make a special presentation that only a mayor can make. President Weisenstein, I need you to join me for a moment at the podium. In appreciation for the many ways our university works to improve our community, it is my distinct pleasure and honor to present to you a key to the city, or as I prefer to call it, a key to the future. Thank you, students, faculty, and administration for making a significant contribution toward a healthy future for our community. Our university is a very important key to our future. That was a surprise. President Weisenstein gave, hold on a minute, I left something over. Okay, now I'm set. You'll see what I needed in a moment. Okay, President Weisenstein gave each commencement speaker a lovely card and thanked us for taking that awesome role of being the last speech that the students hear before leaving West Chester University. Okay, there's no pressure there. I'm sure if you were asked what would make an awesome last speech at West Chester University, the words short and sweet would be included. So, thank you. So, the Cliff Notes version of my words of wisdom for tonight are the same 3 thoughts that I have shared with incoming freshmen. Take good care of yourself. Lead with your gifts. I thank my neighbor Annalee Lorgas for coining that phrase. And leave everything a little better than you found it. I could conclude there, short and sweet, but I was asked to talk for 10 minutes or so. So I will speak for a few more minutes. By now, you are all experts on graduation. And of course, graduation day brings with it flowers and photos and greeting cards. So I brought a few cards today to help you celebrate. All right, here's one that says, wishing you much happiness on this special day. All right? That's what I had left in mind. These are very important. Here's another one that says, with new knowledge, an open mind, and a seeking heart, may you find your own path to success and happiness. Then we have another one. You are a star, shine on, wishing you much happiness on your graduation. Now, my personal favorite, this is one with a dog on the front, and if you move it around, it's got like 5 hats and a mohawk. And on the front it says, what does the future hold for you? And inside, the possibilities are limitless. Happy graduation. So, do you hear a theme emerging from the graduation cards? People want you to be happy and successful. The message is basically, be happy and successful and courageous, and all your dreams will come true. These messages raise the question, okay, so how do I do that? How do I achieve happiness and success and fulfill my dreams? And just how do we define happiness and success? Will I know it when I see it or when I'm living it? Of the many town gown collaborations that President Weisenstein and I have encouraged over the last few years, the most recent and quite delightful was a celebration of the United Nations' first International Day of Happiness, appropriately celebrated on the first day of spring. The purpose of the day is to bring awareness not simply to our own happiness, but the happiness of nations and the world. Professor Don McCowan and his colleagues presented a 2-hour forum in the beautiful Phillips Autograph Library in support of the ideal and the very real steps we can take to increase happiness in our work, our play, and caring for one another. During the Happiness Forum, we looked at Aristotle's definition of happiness, which is essentially to live a flourishing life. A very uplifting thought, a flourishing life. So exactly how do we do that? Live a flourishing life that's full of meaning and satisfaction. The thought of surviving, let alone flourishing, is particularly difficult in the face of so many daunting challenges before us today. Climate change, a slow job market, tenuous global financial markets, the threat of terrorism and global conflicts touching our country and our lives, and on and on. There's a lot to worry about. How do we flourish under these circumstances? Let me share a little story with you. We're going back about 25 years, the year I became essentially a chronic worrier. My kids were about 1 and 3. And I was devoting every possible moment to taking care of them, the right food, the right music, the toys, keep them away from cigarette smoke, pollution, toxins, driving myself and probably my kids a little crazy. You know what I'm talking about. I couldn't help being worried. I had grown up hearing horror stories on the news about air and water pollution. I was a senior in high school for the first Earth Day. Worrying about the environment was almost part of my DNA. Then one day it hit me. I can only protect my kids so long, and they will go out into the world on their own. And what world will they inherit? One that is more polluted, more dangerous? All my efforts to protect them would be in vain. I was very worried. So one day when our kids were in preschool, I'm pulling into the Acme parking lot and I'm listening to NPR, and there's this story. A retired teacher is telling about her 5th grade class from several decades ago. She was talking with her students about nuclear war. This was, of course, a constant topic of conversation in the 60s during the Cold War when I was in grade school, where we had air raid drills and you'd go in the hallway and crouch, in case the Soviet Union attacked. So this teacher asked her 5th graders, who is afraid there might be a nuclear war? And all the hands go up, except one little girl. And the teacher was very surprised that she didn't have her hand up. So she asked her, why aren't you afraid there will be a nuclear war? And the little girl answered, well, my mom and dad belong to this group, and they're working really hard to make sure there's no nuclear war. So I'm pretty sure there won't be one. So I sat there in the parking lot listening to the end of this story, and a light bulb came on. And I said, okay, maybe I should get busy and do something other than worrying. Do something so my kids wouldn't have to worry, so they would have hope that everything would be okay, because their parents were doing something to make the world a little better. Maybe they would even learn to do the same. So I got busy. Shortly after that, volunteered with WIT at the UN, working on raising awareness about environmental issues. And when my kids got old enough, I helped them start their own projects like recycling centers at their elementary schools and so on. So by now you're wondering, okay, how does that story relate to the happiness factor? The living a flourishing life question that we started out with. Well, not long after I started doing a little of my environmental work, I noticed I wasn't worrying as much. Little did I know that the small actions I would take to try and make my kids feel safer and make the environment a little healthier would make me a little happier. Who knew that taking action would replace worry with hope for me? Without really realizing it, I was beginning to develop those 3 points I'm sharing with you tonight. Take good care of yourself, lead with your gifts, and leave everything a little better than you found it. Studies have shown that because we are social creatures, if we add to the happiness and well-being of others, we add to the happiness of ourselves. So a secret to happiness, flourishing, is a life that combines commitment to personal well-being and the well-being of others. And as a wise mentor continually reminds me, charity begins at home. Take good care of yourself first, and then you will have something to give to others. It's like an airplane when they tell you to put your mask on first before you put it on for children. So last week, there was a lot of talk about commencement speakers. And I heard someone saying the most popular theme for commencement speakers is follow your passion. So if, however, like many who were interviewed, they said, well, it would be great to follow my passion, but I don't really have a passion. Not any particular passion. Some of us can relate to that. To that, I say, not to worry. Maybe you can adopt your passion. Maybe you will choose to be passionate about taking good care of yourself, leading with your gifts, and doing what you can to leave everything a little better than you found it. You value education. You have earned a master's degree in your field of study. You have many choices, and you are leading with your gifts. You have the power and the responsibility to shape the future. We are facing more and more challenges every day. It's important that we prepare ourselves to face these challenges. We must keep in mind what we are leaving as our legacy. Each of us has a responsibility to leave something for posterity. Our lives are filled with social media. Perhaps you can utilize this venue and your talents to let others know that they too have a responsibility to leave things a little better. In closing, echoing the message of the graduation cards, I wish you happiness and success, a passionate and flourishing life. Whatever paths you choose, take good care of yourself, lead with your gifts, and leave everything a little better than you found it. Thank you so much.
Mayor Comita, thank you very much for the key to the borough and the key to our future, and for your very wise and timely guidance.
I am pleased to certify that the members of the class of 2013 have fulfilled all the requirements for the master's degree which this university awards in their particular fields of study, and they are recommended to you by the faculty of West Chester University.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I hereby confer upon you the master's degrees to which you are entitled. Will the degree candidates in the first row from the College of Arts and Sciences continue to stand and prepare to proceed to the stage? All other degree candidates may be seated until your row is called.
I now call on Dr. Lori Bernatsky, Interim Associate Vice President for Academic Affairs and Dean of Graduate Studies, and Dr. Dottie Ives Dewey, Chair of the Department of Geography and Planning and Executive Secretary of the Graduate Council, to present the candidates for master's degrees. Marshals, please escort the recipients of this degree forward to receive the symbolic representation of their accomplishments.
I now call on Dr. Lori Vermeulen, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. Okay. Menon Yao. Just take the next one. Shui Wang. Justin E. Thompson, Master of Science, Applied Statistics. Kyle J. Calzola, Master of Science, Applied Statistics. Jesse E. Adams, Master of Science, Applied Statistics. Richard J. Sanders, Master of Science, Applied Statistics. Yeah. Brendan Barnhart, Master of Science, Applied Statistics. Melissa A. Elliott, Master of Science, Applied Statistics. Thomas M. Gallagher III, Master of Science, Applied Statistics. Wing H. Fung, Master of Science, Applied Statistics. Matthew B. Westervelt, Master of Science, Biology. Melissa S. Leach, Master of Science, Biology. Molly Gabler, Master of Science, Biology. Catherine E. Miller, Master of Science, Biology. Stephen J. Bukowski, Master of Science, Biology. Lee Antonelli, Master of Art, Communication Studies. Kelly A. Baker, Master of Art, Communication Studies. Tyler A. Daniels, Master of Art, Communication Studies. Kelly Bosich, Master of Art, Communication Studies. Brittany A. Tarr, Master of Art, Communication Studies. Christopher Gruzis, Master of Art, Communication Studies. Michelle Tedisco, Master of Art, Communication Studies. Venamati Upadhyay, Master of Science, Computer Science. Praneeth Kalagada, Master of Science, Computer Science. Semba Mapanga, Master of Science, Computer Science. Thomas Albrecht Jr., Master of Science, Computer Science. Courtney Winiger, Master of Arts in English. Danielle D. Clay, Master of Arts in English. Graham W. Osborne, Master of Arts in English. Kip A. Magdalius, Master of Arts in English. Shannon P. Steele, Master of Arts in English. Christina L. Lehman, Master of Arts in English. Allison D. Wilson, Master of Arts in English. Jenna C. Nugent, Master of Arts in English. Tommy J. Moore, Master of Arts in English. Timothy M. Ballingal, Master of Arts in English. Brittany S. Hull, Master of Arts in English. Carrie A. Confora, Master of Arts, French. Courtney Wood, Master of Art, teaching English as a second language. Stacy Lee Hallman, Master of Art, teaching English as a second language. Amanda S. Clausen, Master of Art, teaching English as a second language. Rebecca Laquadera, Master of Art, teaching English as a second language. Sheila R. Knoll, Master of Arts, teaching English as a second language. Kathleen Kutch, Master of Arts, teaching English as a second language. Megan B. Davey, Master of Art, Holocaust and Genocide Studies. Patricia J. Norman, Master of Art, Holocaust and Genocide Studies. Ryan Woodward, Master of Art, Holocaust and Genocide Studies. Irina Savish, Master of Art, Mathematics. Carrie Sotko, Master of Art, Mathematics. Casey Lombardo, Master of Arts in Mathematics. Jose J. Marti, Master of Arts, Philosophy. Kate E. Wummer, Master of Arts in Psychology. Lucy Albert, Master of Arts in Psychology. Kurt. Bonnie E. Kurt, Master of Arts in Psychology. Abby Pulse, Master of Arts in Psychology. Alexander R. Ernst, Master of Arts in Psychology. Sarah M. Burkhart, Master of Arts in Psychology. Jessica M. Fritz, Master of Arts in Psychology. Manasi D. McCrickar, Master of Arts in Psychology. Andrew Martin, Master of Arts in Psychology. Michael Z. Bashard, Master of Arts in Psychology. Tariq Bowie, Master of Arts in Psychology. Matthew J. Curry, Master of Arts in Psychology. Sharon L. Finn, Master of Arts in Psychology. Mia C. Clark, Master of Arts in Psychology. Jillian E. Azarlosa, Master of Arts in Psychology. Ashley R. Anthony, Master of Arts in Psychology. Angela M. Cianchetta, Master of Arts in Psychology. Bree C. Chauvette, Master of Arts in Psychology. Tara J. Hummel, Master of Arts in Psychology. Colleen M. Gray, Master of Arts in Psychology. Katie Boyle, Master of Arts in Psychology. Lauren Banks, Master of Arts in Psychology. Elizabeth S. DiNardo, Master of Arts in Psychology. Tamara M. Burgos, Master of Arts in Psychology. Courtney F. Marcellus, Master of Arts in Psychology. Kellyanne M. Hopkins, Master of Arts in Psychology. Kimberly C. Locke, Master of Arts in Psychology.
I now call on Dr. Kenneth Whitmer, Dean of the College of Education. Caitlin Mara Gibbons. Olivia Fields. Tammy Taylor. Julia S. Steele, Masters of Education, Applied Studies in Teaching and Learning. Colette M. Thomas, Master of Education, Applied Studies in Teaching and Learning. Priscilla Taylor, Master of Education, Early Childhood Education. Lisa M. Pomponio, Master of Education, Reading. Caitlin Hall, Master of Education, Reading. Catherine A. Murray, Master of Education, Reading. Caitlin R. Holt, Master of Education, Reading. Lila Rose Kling, Masters of Education, Reading. Margaret T. Cosgrove, Master of Education, Reading. Courtney M. Dunlap, Master of Education, Reading. Stephanie E. Feist, Master of Education, Reading. Nicole L. Stevenson, Master of Education, Reading. Francis Bochelle, Master of Science, Higher Education Counseling, Student Affairs. Angela M. Kuva, Master of Science, Higher Education Counseling, Student Affairs. Jennifer Connor, Master of Science, Higher Education Counseling, Student Affairs. Christina M. Rosick, Master of Science, Higher Education Counseling, Student Affairs. Lauren E. Jurla, Master of Science, Higher Education Counseling, Student Affairs. Jeffrey A. Nardowitz, Master of Science in Higher Education Counseling, Student Affairs. Rosemary Rulo, Master of Education, Secondary School Counseling. Kayla A. Brainer, Master of Science, Elementary Education Counseling. Stephanie D. Smith, Master of Education, Elementary School Counseling. Monchelle L. Reyes, Master of Education, Secondary School Counseling. Samantha R. Lohr, Master of Education, Secondary School Counseling. Lisa E. Truhan, Master of Education, Secondary School Counseling. Lisa K. Maloney, Master of Science, Higher Education Counseling, Student Affairs. Stacy L. Talbot, Master of Education, Secondary School Counseling. Ashley Baker, Master of Science, Secondary Higher Education Counseling, Student Affairs. Melissa A. Mullen, Master of Science, Higher Education Counseling, Student Affairs. Caitlin Mahan, Master of Science, Higher Education Counseling, Student Affairs. Rachel Stargat, Master of Science, Higher Education Counseling, Student Affairs. Megan Judge, Master of Science, Higher Education Counseling, Student Affairs. Christy S. Marker, Master of Science, Higher Education Counseling, Student Affairs. Bonnie Yake, Master of Science, Higher Education Counseling, Student Affairs. Elena K. Moran, Master of Science, Higher Education Counseling, Student Affairs. Jennifer L. Cressman, Master of Education, Secondary School Counseling. Joanna P. Matthews, Master of Education, Elementary School Counseling. Lauren M. de Blasio, Master of Education, Secondary School Counseling. Megan T. Callanan, Master of Education, Secondary School Counseling. Anne Marie Brown, Master of Education, Secondary School Counseling. Joseph J. Mango, Jr., Master of Education, Secondary School Counseling. Melvin M. Morris, Master of Education, Secondary School Counseling. Raleigh Russell, Master of Education, Secondary School Counseling. Kelsey L. Shady, Master of Education, Elementary School Counseling. Candy L. Jakubowski, Master of Education, Secondary School Counseling. Mashad Tarani, Master of Education, Secondary School Counseling. Gina M. Maraska, Master of Education, Secondary School Counseling. Amy B. Dauble, Master of Education, Elementary School Counseling. Christy L. Reshka, Master of Education, Elementary School Counseling. Rachel P. Applebaum, Master of Education, Elementary School Counseling. Carly M. McVeary, Master of Education, Secondary School Counseling. Natalie Tebow, Master of Education, Elementary School Counseling. Jennifer Nykirk, Master of Education, Elementary School Counseling. Ashley R. Marcy, Master of Education, Elementary School Counseling. Elizabeth K. Mioli, Master of Education, Elementary School Counseling. Marissa Mayen, Master of Education, Elementary School Counseling. Deborah A. Farrell, Master of Education, Secondary School Counseling. Casey L. Minjoni, Master of Education, Elementary School Counseling. Monique Chate, Master of Education, Secondary School Counseling. Christian Specht, Master of Education, Secondary School Counseling. Noah M. Fickler, Master of Education, Elementary School Counseling. Julie E. Anderson, Master of Education, Secondary Education. Amelia L. Gale, Master of Education, Secondary Education. Elizabeth Salmond, Master of Education, Secondary Education. Kathleen J. Najam, Master of Education, Secondary Education. Alexis Azef, Master of Education, Secondary Education. Poshali Banerjee, Master of Education, Secondary Education. Christian A. Sadler, Master of Education, Secondary Education. Scott L. Orelli, Master of Education, Secondary Education. Naida D. Alvarez, Master of Education, Spanish. Nancy E. Lee, Master of Education, Special Education. Ashley M. Lamson, Master of Education, Special Education. Ina A. Braun, Master of Education, Special Education. Kristen J. Chan, Master of Education, Special Education. Jessica Bigsby, Master of Education, Special Education. Dana M. Walker, Master of Education, Special Education. Jessica M. Reeling, Master of Education, Special Education. Melissa F. Minikazi, Master of Education, Special Education. Joseph T. Nielsen III, Master of Education, Special Education.
I now call on Dr. Michelle Patrick, Interim Dean of the College of Business and Public Affairs. Raymond Nider, Master of Business Administration. Derek Russell, Master of Business Administration. Shannon K. McGee, Master of Business Administration. William Michelson, Master of Business Administration. James Wiegand, Master of Business Administration. Antoinette Walters, Master of Business Administration. Almost lost him there, Joe. William A. Ryder, Master of Business Administration. Eric R. Snyder, Master of Business Administration. Linda A. Hughes, Master of Science in Administration in Training and Development. Shawita Al-Karkani, Master of Public Administration and Human Resource Management. Naomi N. Barrett, Master of Public Administration and Human Resource Management. Marita Richardson, Master of Public Administration and Human Resource Management. Kendall Harris, Master of Public Administration in Human Resource Management. Amber M. Sifries, Master of Public Administration with a certificate in Urban and Regional Planning. Gadi Asuo, Master of Public Administration. Ramisha Wilson, Master of Public Administration. Salome M. Williams, Master of Public Administration. Leslie K. Rutke, Master of Public Administration. Carlos Delgado Sanchez, Master of Public Administration. Erica L. Fleck, Master of Public Administration in Human Resource Management. Margaret K. Swanson, Master of Public Administration in Human Resource Management. Christina D. Serafian, Master of Public Administration in Nonprofit Administration. Lauren S. Peterson, Master of Public Administration in Nonprofit Administration. Monique R. Ferguson, Master of Public Administration in Nonprofit Administration. Edgar Onyango, Master of Public Administration in Human Resource Management. Stephen Adai, Master of Public Administration with a certificate in Urban and Regional Planning. Evan Waltzer, Master of Public Administration. Stephanie C. Cartwright, Master of Public Administration. Richard Weber, Master of Public Administration in Regional Planning. What is it? Davis Pierre Louis, Master of Public Administration. Thiel A. Ben, Master of Public Administration. Lauren N. Richard, Master of Public Administration and Human Resource Management. Melissa L. Bonomo, Master of Public Administration with a graduate certificate in Sport Management and Athletics. Gabrielle Smith, Master of Public Administration with a graduate certificate in Sport Management and Athletics. Andrew C. Klauser, Master of Public Administration with a graduate certificate in Sport Management and Athletics. Amanda C. Brogan, Master of Science, Criminal Justice. Caitlin M. McGordy, Master of Science, Criminal Justice. Adrian Jarrett, Master of Science, Criminal Justice. Maria E. Rochetti, Master of Science, Criminal Justice. Campanelli. Vincent Campanelli, Master of Science, Criminal Justice. Adeshale. Jacqueline O. Adeshale, Master of Science, Criminal Justice. Donald Venga, Master of Science, Criminal Justice. Alfred Johnson, Master of Science, Criminal Justice. Tamika Graham, Master of Arts, Geography. Ian Tangert, Master of Arts, Geography. Sean Collins, Master of Arts, Geography. Robert F. Allenson, Master of Arts, Geography. Joseph Gould, Master of Social Work. Anquinette M. Kimball, Master of Social Work. Margaret T. Barstow, Master of Social Work. Elizabeth Hulse, Master of Social Work. Suzanne R. Pfizer, Master of Social Work. Christine J. Brunson, Master of Social Work. Sheila A. Romero, Master of Social Work. Daniela Choinowski, Master of Social Work. Robin L. Sense, Master of Social Work. Dominique T. Adams, Master of Social Work. Heather R. Pollock, Master of Social Work. Ashley N. Day, Master of Social Work. Sarah N. Gimber, Master of Social Work. Stephanie J. Leibfried, Master of Social Work. Erica Doheny, Master of Social Work. Brandon M. Wright, Master of Social Work. Nicole M. Catagone, Master of Social Work. Melissa Greenewalt, Master of Social Work. Joanna C. Whiteman, Master of Social Work. Nicole E. Jones, Master of Social Work. Jenna Lynn Roadside, Master of Social Work. Lindy SPK, Master of Social Work. Jamie E. Shepard, Master of Social Work. James Edvin Pearson Jr., Master of Social Work. Pamela S. King, Master of Social Work. Rosemary G. McCoach, Master of Social Work. Kristen Bartell, Master of Social Work. Elizabeth Wolski, Master of Social Work. Maria C. Gullo, Master of Social Work. Facundo. Raymond Facundo, Master of Social Work. Tonisha D. Toniel, Master of Social Work. Alexandra M. Ingram, Master of Social Work. Amy E. Stango, Master of Social Work. Jamie R. Gluckman, Master of Social Work. Sage S. Windemaker, Master of Social Work. Siobhan Canavan, Master of Social Work. Sarah E. Dodson, Master of Social Work. Kirsten M. Crehan, Master of Social Work. Rebecca Wenner, Master of Social Work. Cynthia Rooney, Master of Social Work. Felicia Kennedy, Master of Social Work.
I now call on Dr. Ray Zetz, Interim Dean of the College of Health Sciences. Is he there already? Christina M. Earl, Master of Art, Communicative Disorders. Elena DeQuilly Lawrence, Master of Art, Communicative Disorders. Chad E. Friedman, Master of Art, Communicative Disorders. Shannon L. Davis, Master of Education, School of Health. Katie Kreider, Master of Education, School Health. Margaret L. McGow, Master of Education, School Health. Hosanna Z. Gourmet, Master of Public Health. Joyce W. Nana, Master of Public Health. Sarah Marion, Master of Public Health. Nicole K. Esposito, Master of Public Health. Ijoma Okafor, Master of Public Health. Kristen M. Woodruff, Master of Public Health. Rachel Corey, Master of Public Health. Nicole L. Ivaska, Master of Public Health. Ashley Jones, Master of Public Health. Shayna Mitchell, Master of Public Health. Danielle R. Master, Master of Public Health. Latoya J. Ellis, Master of Public Health. Ashley N. Mercer, Master of Public Health. Katarina C. Fisher, Master of Public Health. It's a rowdy group. Claire Grinwood, Master of Public Health. Chelsea L. Price, Master of Public Health. Sarah E. Schaefer, Master of Public Health. Ariel M. Waters, Master of Public Health. Tara Johnson, Master of Public Health. Nicole E. Tome, Master of Public Health. Krista R. Smith, Master of Public Health. Jessica G. McKnight, Master of Public Health. Ann Welsh, Master of Public Health. Shanera Enia, Master of Public Health. Jennifer N. Ford, Master of Public Health. Zania D. Matthews, Master of Public Health. Colleen M. Raucut, Master of Public Health. Elizabeth M. Smith, Master of Public Health. Kathleen Hiltwine, Master of Public Health. Catherine A. Stengel, Master of Public Health. Okay. Antonio T. Visram Jr., Master of Public Health in Nutrition. Jennifer Stafford, Master of Public Health in Nutrition. Rachel Mast, Master of Public Health in Nutrition. Evie Fatima, Master of Public Health in Nutrition. Stephanie Perks, Master of Public Health in Nutrition. Samantha J. DeFrank, Master of Public Health in Nutrition. Okay. Jeremy V. Hausman, Master of Public Health, Healthcare Management. Chad Bonsall, Master of Public Health. Andrew Granger, Master of Public Health. Brett R. Robinson, Master of Public Health. Hatim B. Ali, Master of Public Health. Emily S. Inzarello McGaw, Master of Public Health. Selena Moresi, Master of Public Health. Nazar A. El Hassan, Master of Public Health. Olayinka Balangun, Master of Public Health. Patrick J. Bangali, Master of Public Health. Pragati Dayananda, Master of Public Health. Marin Elizabeth B. Martinez, Master of Public Health. Santos Casey, Master of Public Health. Nina Ginsley, Master of Public Health. Christina M. Conlon, Master of Public Health. Jillian L. Shears, Master of Public Health. Brett J. Doherty, Master of Public Health. Michael Ames, Master of Public Health. Lisa O'Neill, Master of Public Health. Vishal Kulkarni, Master of Public Health. Elena R. Morris, Master of Science, Exercise and Sports Physiology. Allison B. Jaroshek, Master of Science, Exercise and Sport Physiology. Heather A. Caulfield, Master of Science, Exercise and Sport Physiology, with a concentration in athletic training. Trista Van Leer, Master of Science, Exercise and Sport Physiology, the concentration in athletic training. Christopher J. McWigan, Master of Science, Exercise and Sport Physiology, concentration in athletic training. Ruth Lath, Master of Science, Nursing. Valida J. Boswell, Master of Science, Nursing. Tanya T. Sims, Master of Science, Nursing. Beth K. Schwartz, Master of Science, Nursing. Donna M. Seibert, Master of Science, Nursing. Kathleen Sullivan, Master of Science, Nursing. Teresa Lamara, Master of Science, Nursing. Leslie E. Waltz, Master of Science, Nursing.
I now call on Dr. Timothy Blair, Dean of the College of Visual and Performing Arts. Tenalia. Matthew A. Tenalia, Master of Music, Wind Conducting. Cassidy Nalepa, Master of Music, Wind Conducting. Danielle Hoffman, Master of Music in Clarinet Performance. Melody L. Brubaker, Master of Music in Violin Performance. Attila Zas, Master of Music in Cello Performance. Yoon Jung Ro, Master of Music in Piano Performance.
Congratulations to all of the graduates. Thus ends our spring graduate commencement. As president of West Chester University, I not only want to extend congratulations to the graduates, but also to their families, friends, and others who have helped you along the way. And let's recognize them right now with a round of applause. Please rise and join in the singing of the first verse of our alma mater. Mr. Ethan Stauffer will lead us at the conclusion of the alma mater. Please remain standing until the recessional procession has concluded.
Swelling to heaven high, our praises ring. West Chester, hail, all hail to thee, we sing.